I worked in real estate and I had kids, so I took a significant pay cut to come work for CPS.
I work Saturdays and Sundays and evenings, and as the supervisor, I go out on cases.
Are caseworkers overworked and underpaid? Definitely. Are the caseloads too high? Definitely.
Been in foster care since I was 3 weeks old. That's not by choice. In this world, there's tons of negative outlets. There's gangs, there's drugs, there's
times in my job where I'm really sad, but I know that I've done the right thing. When I've removed kids from their parents and they cry and they want to be with their parents even though it's a horrible environment or they're horribly physically abused or sexually abused, and they'll want to stay with that parent, that perpetrator. I had a family one time that was mom that was smoking crack, and it was the most disgusting roaches. I came out of there with bed bugs, roaches. You go in and you feel just saturated with bad energy.
I think one of the things is that we hold people's lives in our hands, just because of the decisions that we make.
It takes a village to raise children. We could probably have less criminals on the street if we took care of our kids while we have them preventatively, because there's a lot of statistics around prison and foster care. 70% of prisoners across America have stated at one point or another they were a ward of whatever state they lived in, and that's 70% of a lot of prisoners. That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of kids who are seeking some kind of guidance, some kind of not a void, but a relationship with someone that they can trust, because that's all they've had is losing trust.
When I was in foster care, I didn't really think anybody cared. I used to think there were a lot of people that got paid to do stuff like this, whether it was a good job or a bad job, and they got paid. I didn't even know that there were people or organizations or anything like that were interested in providing supplies and sorely needed resources for foster youth.
I've been in a position where I didn't know how I was going to get certain supplies for families, and I've used my own money to make sure that I could get a family a can of formula to last until their WIC card came in.
A day without PFC for a caseworker is very challenging. Partnerships provides a lot of additional resources to families in order to get services, clothes, toys, little things, diapers, formula.
We can't ask a caseworker with a caseload of 50 kids if that's what they're still having. I know that the rates are lower now, but still, if you have 50 kids on your caseload, you cannot go buy a pair of pants for every kid who rips their pants at school that day.
I love this job. I love these families, and I see these families as my own. I take them on as my own. They're very important to me. I see them as my families. I don't call them my clients. I call them my families. I see them as my aunts and my uncles and my cousins. That's what keeps me going every day, is that if I'm not here to do this job and work the hours that I work and put in the effort that I put in, who will? And I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. This was my calling. This is where I'm supposed to be in my life.
I think that donating to this program and finding people that can help those kids would help their futures.
I think that there's a perception that in order to give back, in order to contribute and be helpful to young people in foster care, there has to be a huge commitment. It's not that. Like, you only need 1 minute to change the life of a foster child. You have the means to donate things. That's a way to give back. You can mentor. You can become a foster parent if that's what you feel that your calling is. But there's so many ways to be involved that no matter how much time or how little time, no matter how much money or how little money, no matter what the circumstances are, there's always ways to give back. And places like Partnerships for Children are ways and places that you can get in contact in order to do that on any scale that you feel comfortable with. And that's what I would really like for people to know.